Hey guys, I'm Nick.
And I'm Kat.
And you're listening to
Just Two People Pleasers.
Woo-woo. Hello to all of our new followers on social media who are here for one very specific reason that we love. And we love you guys.
We love it. Homestuck.
Yes.
You go. Because we posted the Homestuck episode. And I put little teasers on TikTok and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like 5 followers. Now we have 15.
Amazing.
And it was just like, oh no. So the Homestuck fandom is still alive, even though I thought it was dead. And it did transfer over to TikTok because I did not know that. Also, they're children, some of them. I clicked on one account by accident and it was a 13-year-old and I was like, oh no.
So how did... Huh.
So yeah, they weren't alive when it came out, when it first came out. And I'm just like, oh no. So I had a little crisis about my age, but you know.
Oh. Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
It's a big oof.
But then, in contrast.
Yes.
They got a release date for Sonic Cross Worlds.
Hooray! And that's
whatever.
the one that we talked about in...
That's the whole reason why.
Episode 3?
2 and 3,
2 and 3?
I think.
When we ended 3 with, like, there's a reason for all of this.
Me just being like, this is why I needed to lore dump. And that's
Yes.
so that you're prepared for the video game.
And I'm very excited.
So it's going to be released September 25th. So it's like almost here. So they announced the release date, and then they also teased some different characters because it's more than just the Sonic people now.
Ooh.
We have Hatsune Miku, which is probably the best one. And then there's a bunch of like other things, like there's Joker from Persona 5.
Okay.
A person from like the Yakuza games.
Mm.
Steve and Alex and the Creeper from Minecraft.
Okay.
And then there's more to come and everything. But the amount
I need this game.
Yeah. And then like they're gonna have even more people that haven't been announced yet. So like there's even more coming. And it's just amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
So
and this is for the Switch? Or
it's for the Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Windows and Xbox. So it's like everywhere.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically it's my dream come true.
Because I was gonna cry if I had to get the Switch too to play this game.
I do have the Switch too. Well, my brother has it, but we're sharing it technically.
Cool.
I've been playing Mario Kart World, which
How's that?
it's got nothing on this Sonic racing that I haven't played yet, but it's what the way they advertised it is not how you play it. Like they were like, oh, you can free roam with friends, but no,
Oh.
you can't do that. You can race, and that's pretty much it. Which that's fine, but like to unlock some of these characters, you have to do the most convoluted things.
Of course.
And it's just yeah. But I mean, it's fun. It's just
Maybe like new tracks and like a bunch more racers.
yeah. There's 24
Yeah.
in a race,
That's crazy.
and it doesn't. The screen doesn't look like it's gonna crash. Like it's not stuttering,
Oh.
which is crazy for the Switch. So the Switch 2 is
Yeah.
good for that.
Okay.
The game itself, I hope they update it to make some of the things a little easier, or they make it so that it's more what they advertised it as.
Yeah.
Because there's like all these collectibles and stuff, and like my brother and I were gonna play it together to get them, but no, you can't. One person plays, and I can just watch and just stare at him.
No.
Yeah.
That
so.
sucks.
But yeah. So here's hoping that Sonic Racing World or whatever is great, and we're super excited.
Yay.
Yay!
So our main topic for the day, we're going to break into the very exciting world of online games, like
Ooh.
browser gaming. We all had that phase, I feel like, in life. Unless you're the 13-year-old who pulls on TikTok, maybe they never played any of these, but...
Well, yeah, because, I guess in our time, like, the internet was, like, limited, I guess. Like, you didn't have access to it all the time. So when you did, you're like,
or maybe during computer class when you finished all your things you had to do,
yeah,
like,
you're just like,
hop on.
what if I go meet my friends at the disco or whatever?
So we have no rhyme or reason to these, but we're just gonna go through. These are just some that we thought of, games we used to play.
Yeah.
And we'll see how much we remember, because it's been a long time since I played most of these.
Nick was going down the list, and for some of them, I was like, I've never even heard of that. So we're just having a fun time yapping.
It's like, I didn't think about these until this episode, and then I was like, I dedicated so many hours of my life to these games. Like, I could have been doing productive things, but instead I was picking my perfect outfit for the fashion show. Like, what was I doing with my life? I don't even know. So we'll start with Pop Tropica, because when we both played.
Yeah.
And what I remember about this is like the art style, and then the really cool like different worlds and missions you could explore.
Yes. Yeah.
But like, I don't remember too much. It's just like,
I remember it was more of a game, I guess.
Like a platformer? Like it was all in one?
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a platformer-esque. But then, like, there was, like, you could do online stuff with friends, but I never did.
I don't think I did either. I think I just, yeah. You could, there was, like, scavenger hunts, and you could collect things and change your outfit and whatever.
And I think you, like, would swing on things or whatever.
That sounds
with
right.
the hand, with, like, the arms, you'd swing around or whatever, and it just...
Yeah.
Because it was very flat, 2D, like animation, so it just looked really wonky, but like great at the same time.
The best way. And then I remember distinctly there being a helicopter at the end of some of the missions.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember like the animation they did for it flying away. Like that's burned into my brain. But yeah, besides that, I couldn't talk too much. Just remember it being really fun.
Yeah, I also remember
different
having
themes
a fun time.
and yeah. It's a good game.
Yeah. And then like I remember I would like finish up, like I'd be up to date.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't be any more, and then I'd just keep checking back, and like it's like the same thing, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well.
Yes, that was true. It wasn't like these other ones where there's always something to do, or you like hang out with friends. Really, I mean, you could, but
stuff,
like
but it wasn't like a come back every day to get an item or whatever.
No. So number 2, I'm very excited for. It's an online game called Fantage, which has since been closed, and it makes me very sad because it was a lot of fun. Essentially, you were this little girl or boy on a hoverboard, and like the only movement you did was you kind of flip-flop depending on what direction you were going, but like the character itself never moved, really, except for like emotes. But besides that, you were just like a stagnant, like, or static character that on a hoverboard just moving around. So you had different, kind of like Club Penguin-esque, where you were moving around different places, and you could talk to friends, you could meet people. My favorite thing to do would be to collect all the different outfits for like holidays and things, and I'd go to the fashion show, and that's where you got like all the rewards and points and stuff to buy things. And during the fashion show, it would say, pick an outfit that's red, or pick an outfit that's like themed, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day, or like pick an outfit you wear to the park, and then everyone would pick one, and then the AI or whatever would choose the winner. And I was the best at this fashion show because I spent all my in-game money my mom wouldn't let me spend.
Oh, yeah.
Real money, like in a million years. So like that's why we played the free
the free stuff. The very much like free.
But my sister and I would always fight over who got the computer to play this game, because like it was so much fun. Then we each got a laptop, we'd like hop on the server together and go around to the shops and stuff, and we do the different like themed events. It was just a really fun game, and if anyone has played it, that would make me so happy, because it's one that like not a lot of people know existed. I'll have to show you. We'll put a picture up. One thing I forgot about Fantage, their characters have no noses.
Whoopsie doodles.
Just something I didn't realize until Kat said, "Where are their noses?"
You started talking, and then I remembered one that we didn't put on the list. So
go for it. That could be our next one.
Oh, okay. But
if you're ready.
It's called Gaia Online.
Okay.
GAIA. It's described on Wikipedia
Okay.
as an anime-themed social networking forum-based website. Basically,
Anime themed. Okay.
basically, it was like a Club Penguin, but anime, and there were a lot of outfits.
Okay.
And so, like, you were like a little like sprite, and you'd walk around and stuff, and like you'd talk to other people.
Does it still exist?
I think it does.
Because I may be trying this one out. Because it sounds like Fantage, but anime themed, and that's up my alley.
But it does look like Gaia Online is still around. I don't know if it's what it used to be, but yeah, it was just you'd be like a character, like you'd have a little avatar, and like you just walk around and you would like talk and stuff. Like,
oh my gosh, it kind of looks like Fantage, but like more
anime,
and what they call that kind of style with the little pixel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I do love how there's a furry. Because we support furries here.
Yeah, we do. Apparently, they keep coming back with every episode.
We cannot escape. Wait, I think there might be an app.
No way.
It told me to download. It was like Go Gaia app.
Maybe it's like a chat, like you chat with people while you're in game. I don't know. There's no way they fit an entire.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe they did. I mean, Webkinz has an app now. Which...
Never mind. It's not available in the U.S. store.
Well,
where is it available then?
Probably Japan.
Okay. So yeah. So there was things, and you could like play games and stuff, and yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. That one was because my brother started playing on it, and I was like, that's cool, so I'm gonna do my own. So I think it was more like adult. It wasn't like adult, but it was like,
but yeah,
it was more for teenagers, and I was not a teenager.
Fair enough. No, Fantage was very much everyone was 8 or 10.
Okay. Yes.
On this game.
No one needed noses, so yeah.
Right now, the one that everyone's like, don't talk about this one. You're not talking. It's not
the world's gonna end. Yeah.
Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I mean, they did. Okay, I should have looked this up before we started, but apparently there was some kind of like pseudo version of it that was put up.
Yeah. Because wasn't it Disney closed it or something? Didn't Disney
something
have it?
like that?
Which, like, how dare you?
It's just too much to run.
Yeah, I think having the server cost more than they were like making, so they were just losing money having the server open.
At least they're not losing much as they did with the Snow White movie, like,
which I watched. And little sidebar, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, considering the amount of criticism that it got.
It's just so funny because you started off your review that way, and then you were like, "This is horrible," and then wait. Okay, it's not too bad.
There were some parts that I was like, oh my god. But just the way that it was advertised versus what it was were different. Because, like, the main actress was like, it's not a love story. And the whole thing's a love story.
Of course.
There's a whole thing of, like, they have a song of them just, like, singing to each other about love and whatever.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But yes, because it was criticized so much, I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. But not a movie that needs to be made or should have been made. But yeah, nothing to write home about. But yes, Club Penguin.
But yes, oh my gosh, so many things I could say. The card game that was in, I think it was some kind of like, what did they call it? Wasn't ninjutsu? I don't know, something like that.
Oh yes, cool. But there were ninjutsu penguins or something.
Yeah.
Like, just for those that don't know, you were a penguin.
Oh, thank you.
You had your own little igloo and everything.
And you could get a little puff pet that follows you around.
Yeah.
Little puffle.
Yeah. And Club Penguin, they had some stuff that you could like buy in the store, and then like you could like go home and like enter the code, and then you'd have it in the game, which was so cool.
That was cool. When they started doing that for a bunch of these, I was very excited. Mm-hmm. We'll get into with the later ones. I have, my goodness, it was my whole childhood. But yes, so you were a little penguin, you waddle around. It was really cute. The animation for like the walking was really cute too.
Yeah, they'd waddle.
Yeah, they'd waddle.
It was so cute.
And then you can go tubing, you could go fishing. That was a big one.
Yes,
the fishing was huge.
Yes.
You could go to the pizza parlor, the disco.
Yes, I remember the disco the most because I vividly remember talking to my friends and being like, all right, at this time, we didn't have phones. Like, we didn't have cell phones, so we couldn't text or anything. We were like, all right, at this time we will meet at the disco.
Oh.
And we all met there, and we danced a little bit, and that was it. Like, we didn't do
so
anything.
Cute.
We just were like, okay, bye. Like, it was like a 10-minute thing, but it was like time coordinated, like set our watches and everything.
I don't even think I had friends at that point in my life that played online games. Wait, let's clarify. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had a few, but I don't think they really cared about the online game stuff.
It just, yeah. Because I don't have those friends anymore anyways.
Oh, fair. But, like, I was really bad as a kid. I used to, like, talk to strangers all the time.
Oh, my God.
And then you would find the occasional adult that was playing as a kid. And then my dad would find out and be like, why are you talking to, like, this dude in his 30s or 40s? Like, they're like, well, he seemed nice and we were going to go, like, to the thing. You know, it's just an online game. I thought it was harmless, but, like...
But...
So, there will always be people...
Yeah.
Just weirdos on the internet.
I remember that they had, like, a very... not censored, but like a safe chat where like you couldn't say any curse word or whatever, and then or if you did, you get banned for like 2 weeks or something.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah, that was very nice that they're like. So yeah, it was until 2017, and then they shut it down.
Oh.
And then there is one, but it's not run by Disney.
Yeah.
So it's probably like technically not legal, but
yeah.
But yeah. So.
Oh, the other thing I used to always play was Mancala. There was specifically in, I think, the cafe or something, there would always be Mancala there, and I would just spend so much time playing it. Ugh, what a throwback. Yeah, fishing was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Club Penguin is my favorite of all of these, just because... Wow. I was so excited to say that penguins are my favorite animal, that all the words flipped around. Oh my God. Yeah. Sometimes when I type so fast that like I don't type correctly. That's just I did that in word form, like in like speaking form. Just
so we're gonna take a little detour to coolmathgames.com because anyone that was cool was playing on cool math games, or anyone that was at school and like convinced their teacher that cool math games was a math website.
Because I don't remember what I played on Cool Math Games, but yes, I remember going on it.
Yes.
Because it was just like, oh. It's like, can I go on there? And they're just like, okay, sure, yeah, if you're going to do multiplication or whatever.
It's got math in the titles.
Like,
nope. I was definitely not playing math games. So the three that I remember distinctly are something called Hangman, or something Hangman-esque, which you're this little stick figure hanging from a rope and you have to swing and like go over obstacles and stuff. It's a little gory because you lose limbs when you hit stuff, but like the game Hangman's pretty rough too. Like we grew up playing that, so like that's something if a teacher had caught me playing, be like, "What are you doing?" But that was a lot of fun. And then there's another one with a little alien in this like space rectangle thing. It's like spinning around and you get to jump over holes. That's all it is. You just jump over spaces. And you just keep leveling, like going through the levels and things. And you can like, there's a version where he has skates, so he's like skating through instead of running through. Okay. And I think it was called Jump, or something very similar to that. But it was a little guy in space, and like the music was really intense, and it was so much fun. And then the third one, I might have flipped them, but I think it was Fire Boy and Water Girl, and on one. You were using the up, down, left, right, and then in one you were using the WASD. And, like, that's how you played both characters at the same time. Yeah. So you could play with a friend, or you could try and balance both. And, like...
When you said you could play with a friend, I was like, no, you can't. But, like, yes, just we didn't have friends to play with.
Right. It's like, oh, so...
But, yeah, so it's like it's a whole, like, skill game of, like, you know, you have to get, like, past a door or whatever.
Yeah, you have to get both characters through, and, like, one character was needed to, like, step on the thing to, like, open the door, and the other character... went through the door, and then like, but like
only one could be in water, the other one could only be in fire.
Yeah, so you had to like jump over the fire if you're water, but you can go through the fire if you're the fire guy. So
I remember that game. But I don't remember where I played it on, but I It was probably on Cool Math Games.
99% sure. If not, the comment
Wherever
section will
it
come
was.
for me, but that's okay. Get one comment being like, do you know anything about online games?
Were you
No.
actually ever online?
No, we were not.
While I was also playing these games, my brother and I had to share the same computer. This was around the time that I was playing like Club Penguin or like Webkinz, which we will get to.
Yes.
But around that time, my brother got into World of Warcraft, which you had to buy the game, but once you bought it, then it was on the computer. So to me, it was an online game.
To you, it was free. Yes.
Yeah, to me, it was free. It was an online game because like he would play it first, because like he got home from school first, so he could play it first, and then like I would just watch him, and I'd be like, "That's cool. You could like fight. You could throw magic things. What?" So then I made my own character, and I would play that, and
it was like, it wasn't Minecraft where you're POV, right? You're like, you see the little character running around.
Yeah. It's a MMORPG.
So you could like build. Is it like D&D style? You pick your like class and stuff, or?
Yes. Yeah. It was kind of like D&D, but just you didn't need a DM, I guess. Like you would play and
go around and fight.
Yeah.
Mobs and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't. From what I remember, like you didn't actually like. You didn't have to like play with people like to fight things. Like there was like a lobby, and then like you could just go and do whatever. And just,
Did you always have to have a team, or could you go?
I did everything by myself. I also sucked at it because I was a child. So, because I would be doing it, I'd just be like, I keep dying. But yeah, but I had fun with it.
Is it a game that you can beat, or is it just you're always playing something and leveling up your character? And
I think it's kind of like that.
Like
there's stuff you like. I'm sure there's like an end point, but then I think they kept adding expansion after expansion. So I'm sure that
as one does, to make the monies.
Yes, but yeah. So it's technically a non-online game, but to my brain it was.
Yes, to you, absolutely.
I didn't have to type in like worldofwarcraft.com to log in. It was just
but
booted up the little app thing.
Yeah, but it was worth a mention because it was like one of the most popular games at the time.
But yeah, I definitely should not have been playing it. I was too young to be playing that, but well, it's all good.
It's like cartoons. It's fine.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah. So I'll do my little sidetrack one, and I'll talk about Minecraft for a second, because Minecraft is something that has stuck with me up until today. It is the first date technically that me and Fred like went on was Minecraft. So like I'm about to turn 27 and I still play Minecraft. So to all you out there that are like, when the Minecraft movie came out, they're like, oh, is it a game for kids? No. Okay. It's a very fun game for all the ages. So I think I started playing, oh my gosh, I don't know how old I was, but I have it for about every single like console you can possibly play. It was on my phone at one point. I had it for my Kindle.
Oh my god.
I had it for the Xbox 360. And then now I bought it for the Switch when I got the Switch.
As you do. Yeah.
So like every version of it I've played. And I also wanted to mention it because the Minecraft movie comes out on HBO Max on the 20th.
Yeah.
So I can finally watch it. I don't have to pay like $15 to go to the movie theater.
Let's go.
So I will have my review.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. So all I know is Chicken Jockey. That's it. Yes. So
and when the movie would start, the workers would be like, don't you dare throw your popcorn or I'll punch you in the face. Like, they were not messing around because kids were going nuts in the theaters. So
yes, I also played Minecraft and stuff. That was more in high school, I think. Like when I started it.
So what's your love story look like with Minecraft?
I like it.
Just like,
well, I would just play it randomly. I don't know.
Is there like a favorite thing? Were you like a builder or a miner? Or like...
I was definitely a miner. I would just, and I have like a specific way that I would dig to like just go down. Like I'd make like steps essentially. Like I like do one block, go down one block. Yeah. So, and when I play with, because the boy that I babysit also loves Minecraft. So like sometimes he'll play it and he'll want me to play with it. play it with him. So like he'll be making a house, doing all this stuff, and I'll just be like, what do you need? And I'll just go run and try to find all this material. So I'm just doing a little scavenger hunt, essentially.
Oh, I haven't picked it up in like a month or two, but besides Squishmallows, it is the most merch I have, I think. It's Squishmallows and Minecraft, and Lord of the Rings. Those are the three. Not that anyone asked, but you go in my room. It's I forgot Japan. How could I forget Japan? Those are the four: Lord of the Rings, Japan, Minecraft, Squishmallows. My room looks like a Squishmallow warehouse. It's just like...
Yeah, you definitely have more Squishmallows than some stores do, so...
Well, actually, there is an update. Not that anyone's like, oh my gosh, there's no Squishmallows because of the tariffs. But I've been going to the mall, and I've been talking to the people that work in the stores, and they were saying that people either raised their prices or they made a deal with China to get the Squishmallows over.
Oh, no.
So Claire's, specifically, has made a deal... And they're getting the Squishmallows in either next week or the week after. So rest assured.
Not the underground trading of Squishmallows. Oh my god. Wow.
Not that that's a sidetrack we needed, but because now we're on to the creme de la creme, if you guess, of online gaming.
Webkinz. Which, this one, technically, you needed to pay for it. Because you need to buy an animal.
I think they gave the first pet was free. Okay. I think. I'm like 90%. I know at least now, because now they have the app.
Okay, yeah.
When
I first did it, like when you made the account,
probably right.
You had to like put in a little code. But I mean, then like...
Because I think now you can get your first pet free, because you can't find the plushies anymore.
Right. Because you would buy a plushie, and then you would get the code for that exact same one, and then you could play... as them in the game, and it was like another Club Penguin, but you know, you had more animals that you could choose from and everything,
and like so much more to do.
Yes,
infinite things to do.
Yes,
and I had honestly forgot about Webkinz for a good solid 6 months until I was on Facebook and they recommended me to join a group called Webkinz for Adults.
They know their audience.
For those of us that have not moved on.
For those of us that are trying to heal our inner child and will do anything.
Yeah. So, verdict's out on whether I'm going to join it, because I don't know who the heck could possibly be in that group. But it was definitely interesting. I thought I'd mention. There's also a girl on TikTok I follow that all she does is Webkinz content. She streams her playing Webkinz. And there's something that you can do that I never utilized, and I feel like I should, just to see. There's like a trading thing you can do with other players, and you put in 3 things, they put in 3 things, and then you can approve each item. I watched this girl try and trade a dress, a table, and something else with this one character that was so picky. She went through her entire inventory, and like there was always one thing that was like, that's not good enough. And they finally, it was like, I felt like I was like, hooray, they finally found a trade that was acceptable. But that's what I do on my Friday nights. I watch people play Webkinz and try and trade like limited edition merch. But she has rooms in her house. Like, I don't know what your rooms looked like, if you had like themes and things.
Oh yeah, I definitely did have some themes, but then I gave up like halfway through, because you know, like you would have all this stuff bought, and then you put everything bought in their rooms, and then you buy something and you're like, I'll put in the right room later, and then you just have a room of like garbage.
Yes, then nothing fits, because you're not going to make an entire themed room for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I did look it up.
Okay.
So they did make it free, like that you can get your first pet free, but before you had to have bought one.
Oh wow.
So and they have like free memberships, and then they have like a full membership.
Yeah, they have the premium or whatever.
Yeah.
Which Fantage had that. Club Penguin probably had that. All of them did. It was pretty sick. I think they let me try a month of it for free one time, and I felt like I was VIP. Like, logged on to Webkinz.
Roll out the red carpet, here I come.
Got all the latest and the greatest stuff, and all the exclusive events. You know, when you sat on Santa's lap and told him we went for Christmas, like you were like guaranteed to get it or something. You know, like all the fancy stuff. I think on Christmas I make sure I do one of the 12 days of Christmas, just because, like, it's fun. You get a snow globe, or you get like a tree,
Mhm.
And, you know, Christmas is my favorite holiday, so of course I'm going to hop on Webkinz.
Yeah.
And do the Wheel of Wow,
Yes.
the Wishing Well, and Cash Cow.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. These all ring a bell. I remember.
The Wheel of Wow. Yeah. And then, welcome to the Curio Shop. Hope you find what you're looking for. It's just like the tapes are playing. It's just my whole childhood. That's what I lived for, was going to the Curio Shop and just hope you find my gem of the day, you know? And yeah, it was Archie, I think was his name, was the dog. And then you get the specialty shop that you could like get limited edition items from, and I still don't have the wheel of the crown of wonder or whatever. I will. I'm determined. Oh, I will not rest until I've acquired the crown. There's just so much. The only other sidetrack I'll go on, because I won't take too. Like, I just love Webkinz. I finally donated all my plushies last year. It felt good, but like it was just like an end of an era. There was I don't remember what it was called. It was like little hamsters. That it was Webkinz had a subset
of they were like smaller ones.
Yeah, and they were just little hamsters, and you could build like the little plastic tube things and go on adventures and roll in your little ball. It was like a whole thing. That was like Webkinz was trying to do something else, and then they made a like updated Webkinz more recently where you're like 3D animated, and it was like I tried
go back to your roots,
right? Like go back to what is happening.
Yeah, I was looking around because I'm pretty sure they had like a trading card thing.
Oh my god!
Like it was a trading card game, and I remember I had it. I think it was Webkinz.
Oh my gosh,
I'm not 100% sure.
The merch.
But
I also bought or traded a Webkinz charm bracelet from you on like one of the flea markets.
Yeah.
And it is on my jewelry stand, and it is one of my most cherished possessions because they're like the wackiest little like hidden like,
they're
Easter egg charms of the Webkinz world.
Yeah, they've been through it. Because I was like, I need that, and then each charm you got a code.
Yeah.
And stuff like, and you just get all these cool things.
Yeah.
It
was like, oh, craziness.
I wonder why we're into Squishmallows.
I wonder why. You know, I think it's connecting. I
wonder why we're into Squishmallows and why I love gaming. I don't know. These are our roots, but I'm not sure.
Okay, the only other thing I'll say, I know I said that like 2 things ago. I recently found 3 whole notebooks that I had planned out what exactly I wanted for my online Webkinz and my in-person Webkinz, because like I had a wish list, and
a wish list because you couldn't do digital yet.
Because I wrote it down. So actually, like, what a throwback.
Yeah.
For real. Now that you said that, and I would have each Webkinz tag taped to a page.
Oh my god.
Their name, their birthday, their favorite food.
Oh my god.
And then, like, what kind of purse I wanted to carry them in person, because they came out with these like limited edition Webkinz purses.
Yes.
And I had to have one.
It was like a dog bag,
yeah,
but for
Webkinz.
Yeah, for a Webkinz. Yeah.
And then I had my online wish list of like what I wanted for their room and everything, and it was like, give me a break, guys. I was like, I don't even know how old I was, 8 years old. I don't even know.
It was probably around that time.
Probably around then, but
yeah, you know, listen.
What a time. So occasionally I'll hop on. I'll check on my original account is gone.
Yeah, I'm sure
and
mine is
I
too.
am so sad because there was at least 8 or 10 plushies on there. I had Toko the toucan, and like a little pole bear, and like the fishies did weird me out though. The way they animated the fish. But anyway, we'll move on. You could take this one because I don't know anything about it. We're gonna do Neopets, which is kind of like adjacent.
It's essentially like another Club Penguin-esque thing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
did they have plushies?
I want to say they did, but I don't think you had to have them. I think you just like made your own character and stuff, but you could have other Webkinz, not Webkinz. Where are we? Oh my god, Neopets. Because I remember playing it for a little bit. I didn't get into it as much as like the Webkinz and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember it existing.
I know everybody was on it, and I think it's the one that I didn't play? Because I was like, I already have Webkinz. Sounds like similar, but I guess it's...
Yeah. So it's a free-to-play virtual pet browser game. So yeah,
it was very, very... I learned so much from that.
So basically,
thanks, Wikipedia.
Yeah. Basically, it was just like, it was essentially like a Club Penguin where like you had like, or I guess it was more like a Webkinz. Sorry, I keep going back. I think it was more like a Webkinz, but it was free. And like you had like different pets that you could get and stuff, and then there was like, you could pay money for in-game currency, or there's free in-game currency.
Yeah.
And then like you could like battle each other, I think was one of the other different things. Like your pet could battle another person's pet. Like, just...
That's interesting. Just
yeah.
like Pokemon style.
Yeah. Yeah. It was basically, they made Pokemon into a pet browser game, and then...
They doing too much.
But then they had to make it different. They had distinct animal things, and they were interesting. They weren't real animals. They were like a made up animal and stuff. But yeah, the end.
The end.
I remember I had some figurines of them. Just
Yeah, I liked merch. Was fun. They got me. No wonder why I clicked Squishmallows.
Well, you know what the problem is my family's really into comic books and stuff, so they go to the comic book store, and then there'd be like a little section of kid things, and I'd just be like, I need it.
You're getting something, can I get something?
Exactly. That's 100%
Yes.
kid mindset. It's like, oh, well, you're buying something.
Yeah.
Like, I know you get these comics weekly, but like, this thing is here now. Give it to me, please. Thank you.
So I'll do a quick mention. These last three are ones we're just gonna run through
That I've never heard of.
So Tamagotchi.
Oh no, okay, I've heard of it, but my mom let me get one.
I got her one. I just am thinking when to give it to her. And then we could play together, and our Tamagotchis can be best friends.
But yes, there was an online version.
But there was an online, so I'm not sure exactly how they connected, because the Tamagotchi, like the little Tamagotchis, they would like evolve and stuff, and then like the physical thing itself would get more and more advanced. So like the one I have is an OG one from Toys R Us, and occasionally every few years I'll try and see how long I can keep it alive, and it's difficult. Like it'll wake you up random hours like a baby, like literally like feed me, like especially when it's little, and then when it grows up it has a regular sleep schedule. But
I think that's why my mom didn't let me have one, because she was like, because I remember she was like, you're gonna kill it and then be upset about it.
Oh my gosh.
And I think like, I don't think she knew like that, like you could like redo it. Like I think like she thought once it was dead, it was dead.
Oh no.
Which like that would be such a weird investment, because you'd be like every other day you'd have to go get a new one.
They weren't cheap either, like when they came out.
Yeah, that's the top three. They they weren't cheap. My mom was like, you're gonna kill it. And also just, I guess, the beeping. She didn't want to hear it.
No, I think I finally convinced my mom to get me one for my birthday, because there was one friend, we went over their house, she had 3. And I was like...
The bougie life.
The bougie life, right? Like, this person's parents bought them everything. So, like, like they, I think, let me borrow it once, like, to see how long, it was like a week, and then when it died, I gave it back. I was like, Mom, I want one! And I just basically just, like, begged her until, like, birthday, Christmas was when we got the things. Heelys. That was a Christmas gift, which I still have my Heelys, because I'm just so swag like that. I'm so cool. I'll never forget, I wore them in high school. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you remember, this specific day in high school. And I wore them for some kind of like dress down themed day, and that was after the ban was lifted, because they thought that everyone had gotten rid of their Heelys.
Yeah, because it was so past like Heely like time, and you're just like, woo, bam, whoosh.
I wonder. And then I went in the parking lot, and I tried to Heely in the parking lot, and I tripped over a rock, and then I stopped wearing them. So I was like, that was
you
so
were humbled that day.
I really was. But like, if I wore them to the mall, you think security would be like, those have been banned for like years, why are you wearing them? Or they'd be like, I don't care.
I don't think they would care if you were doing it, because you're not gonna like cause chaos and
Unless
mayhem
I trip
and
over a
stuff.
rock.
Well, okay, but like you're not gonna like wheelie in front of someone, cut them off, and like I think that was the problem. Was like they were just kids. If you give kids a skateboard inside,
oh my gosh,
that's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my god, we don't want to have to deal with it. So
I just remember how cool it felt to like take the little plastic inserts out and like stick the wheel in and click it in. Or like ready to roll.
I got them, but I was too scared to try actually doing it. So they just sat in a box.
Oh. They might be worth something now. You still have them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
we probably throw them out.
We've taken so many tangents. Kat told me before this episode, she's like, "Are you sure that's a topic that's enough for us to talk for a whole hour?" I was like, "Yes." Yeah. I promise you, with the amount of tangents that we take.
The amount of yapping we be doing.
So, essentially, the Tamagotchi online was just the characters in color going around to like walking around to different like stores and stuff, and it was just like a little way to interact with the world on your computer. So, I don't know that it connected per se. I know that you got special codes to put into your little Tamagotchi, and that gave it your character specialty items.
Oh, okay.
And things, so that was kind of cool.
Okay. So they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying.
They were trying to break into the digital world.
Oh my gosh, there was one thing that you could do when you were inputting the code. If you just like mash the buttons, the shopkeeper would get really upset at you. Oh and he'd be like, "What are you doing? I'm just trying to run my shop." And like, if you did it in a very specific way, like he gave you a little item just to get you to go away. So little stuff like that. I'm so excited to show you. You get your Tamagotchi. Okay, the last two. Tinkerbell had an online game once the movie came out and was really popular. So I don't know if you've seen the Tinkerbell movie with like her origin story.
Probably.
At some point.
Probably, yeah.
So they're like, oh man, I should know this. Like how they're born. I don't even know off the top of my head. But once they're born, whatever, they need to choose their specialty.
Okay.
So if it's like light or like water or what was the purple one? I don't even remember. Those were the sassy ones, the sassy fairies.
That's my specialty. I'm sassy.
I remember purple was sassy. And then I think besides the movie, there might have been some kind of like offshoot TV show. But bottom line, you can go on, you can create like your own fairy, and you can do different quests and things, and interact with friends. And it was just really pretty and really cute. And I think they shut it down, and the internet was like, why? So it was one of those things that it was like, yeah. As a girly doing girly things, you know, you made your little character and went around. So that was just one I thought deserved a mention. And then last but not least, Facebook tried their hand at online gaming.
Not tried. Doing. There's still mobile games.
Oh my goodness gracious. I haven't played since. So you can go into the one. I just want to mention, if someone knows the name of it, please help, because it was fish and you went on and you fed them and you did stuff, but like besides that I don't remember anything about it. I just logged on my account and I fed my fish and that was it. But like the one and only, the like main one everyone remembers.
Farmville. There's Farmville 1 and a 2 and a 3 and they just kept going.
What? There was more than one?
Yeah. I know that they went up to 3 at least. I don't know if they made any more. But yeah, but essentially it was like one of those apps that you like before, you know, smartphones were super popular. Like before you had the app thing that you go on your phone like every couple hours to like, you know, harvest crops and stuff.
Was it hosted on Facebook?
Yes. So you would go on like facebook.com, log into your account, and then you like go and hit the game thing, and then you could play it and stuff. And then like every couple hours, like you could come back and do more things and stuff. But it didn't make sense for children, I think, because like in order to do it, like you
couldn't have an account on Facebook unless you were a certain age.
Correct.
Correct. We did not have a Facebook
No
account.
one ever lied.
Nope.
About their age. Never. Couldn't be me.
Was that convincing?
But yeah.
So So Farmville was a thing.
Yeah, because it was for Facebook, not for like the phone.
Yes.
So like you
had to go.
You'd have to like go dedicate your time to the computer.
Yes.
And if you didn't have a laptop, that meant like going to the computer room and just like beep bopping.
Yes.
So.
Which, I don't know why at this moment I just remembered there was something called Petville. I don't know if you played Petville. Do you remember the jingle?
No.
Petville, do Petville. Everybody come on down to Petville. Like, it haunts me in my nightmares. It's like I had this like little like do song to play, and like I don't know why you sang Farmville. Just made me remember Petville. Like, I don't know if it's still a thing anymore, but we'll see if that makes it into the final cut. If you're listening to her, like, what, like, I always give Kat, every episode, I give her free reign to cut out any nonsense that she's like, why was this said?
There are some side quests that we go on that they make sense in the moment, but then listening back, I'm like no one wants to hear about the time I, like, stubbed my toe or whatever. Like, it's just
why I'm so glad that you're able to do that, because there was one episode I think you cut out, like, a good solid 5 minutes. We were just
yes. Well,
both so out of it that day.
Yeah, well, also, Thackeray sometimes likes to be a menace. So there's sometimes that, like, it's spending minutes just being like, stop, please.
Go somewhere else that's not here.
But yes, there's still games on Facebook. And they have, like, all of the games and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Which it's so funny, though, because, like, some of the games you could play, like, they have their own app. So, like, instead of going on the app to play it, you would go on your phone, on the Facebook app, to then go play the game on the Facebook app, not the app.
Yes.
So, but they had a lot of stuff.
Now I almost want to, like, go back and try some of these. I have so much work to do. We're adults now. But, like, what a time.
There's not enough time to be doing this, but also, like... But, like, unless
it was research for the podcast, then. So, that brings us to...
People Blazing of the Week!
Would you like to start us off?
Oh, sure. I have a fun one.
Here we go.
It's people pleasing, so is it fun? Not really.
No, it never is.
But, so, my family and I went to go see a play, which... it's fine. All fun and
so
dandy.
Happy both of our people pleasing is play related. That makes me so happy.
But so the Playhouse has such uncomfortable seats, but they redid the seating.
Yeah.
And it still sucks. It still hurts my back.
Oh,
and,
no.
Like, it just, like, during the intermission, my mom and I had to stand up and just, like, stretch because my back was, like, tweaking. But yeah, so my people pleasing is essentially like they're very small seats, and I was in the middle. So like my brother was on the end. It was me and then my mom, and then next to my mom was someone else. So like I was just kind of like crunched in, so that like they would have more room. Oh no! So that they weren't like
you gave them both the armrests, probably.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
no!
Yeah, it was a very fun play. It was interesting.
What play was it?
Alibi.
Oh.
It's an Agatha Christie book.
Oh, fun.
It was very interesting.
Cool.
I figured out who the murderer was, and they were like, they're not going to do that, but then they did that. If you know, you know. Yeah, but it was fun. But when we got up to go, I was just like, oh my god. No. Like, I had to, like, put, like, the heat on in the car when we got there, so to, like, warm my back to, like, stop it from tweaking. But, you know. Because endometriosis goes everywhere.
It really does.
Yeah.
There's no escaping.
I'm mainly mad because they redid the seats. Like,
they
did a whole thing.
Yeah.
To redo the whole thing. They made a whole big thing about it.
Yeah.
And they still suck. Like, they put, like, the same cushion back on, essentially. Like, they're new cushions.
Oh my
but
gosh,
I think either... Because I'm trying to remember if they had cushions before, or if they just didn't have cushions. Or they had cushions, but they were kind of worn out, but then they put on, like, the same cushion. Because it's really a hard cushion, and just...
Oh, yeah, no.
You're not...
It's like, what's the reason?
Yeah.
Why even have it?
Yeah. And there were so many like older people, and I'm just like, why am I the one that can't sit here? How are they sitting here? What is happening?
Maybe they just like, after a life of pain, they mask it and they're just like, well, I gotta see my play. So I don't know. Some people bring seats with them. That's what I do sometimes. If I remember, I'll bring my seat with me. Or it's like a cushion. I call it my seat. But yeah. So I also went to see a play.
Yay!
What play did you see? New Jersey. It's called Psycho Beach Party. Don't look it up. It's about a girl with multiple personality disorder, and her mom is a psycho, and she's a psycho, and she's like suppressing the trauma of her twin brother having passed away, like really, really tragically. So she creates all these personalities to cope, and then they start like coming out, all of them, and then this surfer bum who went to school to be a psychiatrist.
What are they?
To treat mental disorders.
Psychiatrist.
And then he drops out to become beach bum to follow this beach bum king of the beach or whatever. And then just you're like, what?
I'm sitting here just like my brain like it's just doing circles. It's like that woman with like the math equations.
Yes,
just,
that's
like,
exactly what's
wait,
it's just
that doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works, but okay.
And then he meets her, and like there's a little bit of like tension there, but then there's none. And then it makes him realize that like all along he wanted to be a psychiatrist. So he treats her, and then he leaves his life of being a beach bum, and then you get a scene at the end where he's like, I'm going off to finish my schooling. Oh wait, they do end up together. The two of them, the main girl with the multiple personality.
How does he treat her?
By like putting her under like hypnosis and then talking to each personality and finding out why the trauma was there. And then so you get this whole scene where like this girl, I gotta give her a shout out. Amazing actress. Like she like every single personality that was in there had its own like voice and stuff and like backstory. So like she unbelievable. The whole scene is basically just a giant monologue, and she like hit it out of the park. Amazing. So but other than that though, besides her, she's like the star. I love the whole cast. Amazing. But like it's like community theater.
You know these people.
Yes. I do.
Yeah. I just that's the reason why you like went
so
there.
Yeah, we didn't even okay, so sorry for the
you were doing the whole thing, and
I really was
here like
because I feel like I had to explain.
Yes, the title, you kind of have to give a little bit more than just, I was like, it's an Agatha Christie novel, the end.
And like you didn't want to spoil it, you know what I mean? So like, but this is one that no one's heard of. I'm like, why choose this? I don't know. And it's very sexual for no reason. And Fred went with me, and like the whole time I was looking over at him, and he was just like nervous giggling. The whole play. He was like, what is happening? And they cut out the bad parts. So anyway, the play ends and they're gonna have cast parties. So I figured, I know most of the cast and the tech people. I used to do shows there, and I moved back to Pennsylvania, so like the place in Jersey is too far to go. So I was like, I'm just gonna say quick hi to everybody and leave, because I knew I need to get, it's like an hour plus away. And here's the people pleasing comes in, because lo and behold, every single person came up to me and asked about my life story and how I was doing. And even though I said I'm not staying for cast party came and went. And we were still there.
Yep.
11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Finally, it was like almost 1, and I said, Fred, my chronic illness is flaring up real bad. I'm about to pass out. I would have said this 3 hours ago, but I didn't want to bring the vibe down. So I was like, we need to go before I actually fall on the ground. And luckily he was driving, so like I could just like zone out the whole drive home. But it was a time, because of course I couldn't be the only one sitting talking. Everyone else was in a circle standing. What was I gonna do? Like sit in the middle of the circle and listen? No. So flamingo leg was activated about an hour in, and that's what I was the flamingo the rest of the night.
I do love how I randomly came up with that. Just like I would just stand on the one leg and have the other leg and like looking like a flamingo. And then I found on TikTok someone like a licensed person was saying that as one of like the exercises or whatever, and I was like, in my mind I knew. like to help like blood circulation
Yeah.
or something.
It's kind of fun when you go on those forums. You're like, I do that.
Yeah, it's just really funny. It's just like, oh, okay, sure,
So,
I'm smart.
it was a great night. But every time we went to leave, a new person would come up. I'd be like, well, I can't make them upset. I gotta say hi to everybody. It be how it be, y'all. So, there you go. Episode 15
Yeah,
in the books.
check that off. We did it.
We did it. Thanks
Alrighty.
for coming on for the ride.
Along for the ride in the digital world.
In the digital world. See you back next week in the real world.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Alrighty, goodbye.
Goodbye.